and so pathetic to see that this Biden administration in 8 months has given us, a public health crisis, a Middle Eastern crisis, an economic crisis, you name it, an energy crisis, and denying that they are allowing COVID positive individuals coming across the border illegally into the country. We know, go to the La Jolla Police Department in South Texas, go to the McAllen, Texas Police Department. There have been over 7,000 COVID positive illegal aliens released down in that part of the Rio Grande Valley sector. I have personally seen with my own eyes when I was down in the Rio Grande Valley sector a few weeks ago with Governor Abbott and also with President Trump getting on an airplane in McAllen, Texas to fly back to Houston. It was at least one third of that aircraft was full of individuals who were illegal aliens. They had signs that said, "I can't speak English, put me on the right bus, put me on the right plane," free cell phones, new clothes. It's incredible that these Democrats would continue to deny, to obfuscate, to hide what they are doing to this country when it comes to our national security, our public health, the crime wave that I just mentioned. It's unbelievable, Stephanie, and it is inexcusable. This is the most incompetent presidency I have ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah, no, I couldn't agree with you more. And what did you make of the Homeland Security Secretary Mayorkas meeting with Border Patrol agents, talking with them, and then privately admitting that what's happening at the border is unsustainable?
Well, there's no surprise. He is talking out of both sides of his mouth to the American people. He knows. In fact, I've worked with a number of former Trump administration border authorities, and they actually thought that Mayorkas might be able to do a good job. The man is in denial. He's protecting his boss. He knows what's going on down there. He sees what's happening. He knows it's unsustainable. We caught him on a hot mic. The man needs to resign. If he doesn't resign, he should be removed from office because it's a disgrace to our national security. And quite frankly, Secretary Mayorkas is unfit for the job. Yeah. He has not listened at all to the professionals who told him during the transition period between Trump and Biden administrations, do not undo MPP, do not undo Title 42, do not stop construction of the border wall, and these different agreements that the Trump administration came up with to absolutely control our border in 2020. And yet they ignored it, and we are suffering the consequences. Here in Texas alone, we're having to wear masks. Louisiana the same way. We've got a spike in COVID that's coming up, and they're trying to blame it on those who are anti-vaxxers or anti-maskers, and yet they're letting thousands of COVID positive illegal aliens across the border. It's the biggest hypocrisy I've ever seen.
Yeah, major hypocrisy. That's a good way to just describe it. And the solution and the answer here is very simple. Just go back to the Trump administration policies that were working. And I did see this today that a U.S. District Court judge in Texas did issue a decision ordering the Biden administration to implement and enforce Trump's migrant protection protocols, which was to keep the migrants in Mexico, the Remain in Mexico policy. So that is a big win. We'll keep an eye on that, but there's just so much more. I mean, the Biden administration came in like a wrecking ball, reversing all of Trump's immigration policies, and they try to blame Trump, actually, for what's going on at the border. But immediately when they implemented the reversal of the Trump administration policies, that's when we had this happen. And there's been so many months and nothing's been done. Harris goes down, does a photo shoot in Texas for a few hours, and then she writes up this little page about what needs to be done and the root causes. I'm sorry, not what needs to be done, the root causes and some of the other things, and then she has no solutions. And we haven't even seen her go back down there. We haven't heard anything from her. It's a total failure on their part. Well, Congressman, we're going to leave it here. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Stephanie.
Thank you. Coming up next, as the